I call it, okay, do you prefer people call it Mandy or Mandy.com? It doesn't
Doesn't
matter?
really, no.
No?
It all
Okay.
works. I mean, we're a website, so I mean, it is Mandy.com. It's actually called the Mandy Network, but it's
Yes.
just Mandy.com. Mandy,
So,
it
and
all
they were,
works.
yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna, I go between the two, Mandy versus Mandy.com. But as long as, you know what, it's interchangeable. That's totally cool. I don't want to offend Mandy, right? Is there a
No one's
Mandy?
going to
I
be
can't
offended.
remember. Is there a Mandy?
Yes, so it's an interesting story. So Mandy.com was born from way, way back in the day, pre-internet. There was a director in the UK who used to do a lot of filming, and crew would come in, and crew would not show up on the day, and he'd be scrambling. I need to have somebody. I need a PA. I need a grip. I need whatever. His wife, Mandy, started keeping a journal of names of people who came onto set, and essentially, if there was an emergency, she had a Rolodex, and she'd go through this Rolodex and call, "Hey, are you available to come to set today to do this thing?" And that's really how it started. And then eventually, the internet came, and they decided to monetize it and put it up online, and yeah, figured that out. But that was a long time ago. She's not actually part of the company anymore. It's been, changing hands many times. So
I love that they kept the name though. That's,
yeah,
because sometimes you lose the name, but I love that story. That's so
yeah, it's
fun.
a great story, right? I think it's cool. Yeah.
And then, so they're from the UK originally, and then how did they come to Canada?
So Mandy in the UK is actually another story. So Mandy was originally a crew-based platform. So it was really designed for getting crew to do crew jobs on film sets. There's another company in the UK called Casting Call Pro. You may remember this. This is like, I want
Yes.
to say 3 to 4 years ago. So Casting Call Pro acquired Mandy, and then they said, hey, let's go global. So they see that there's a marketing opportunity in North America, so they hired a couple of people in the US to manage the crew side of the business, and then they were looking for somebody in Canada, and I got lucky. I saw the job posting because as an actor, I was on the platform using Casting Call Pro and booking quite a lot of work, I would say. And I would talk about it on set to other people, like, oh, you got to check out Mandy or Casting Call Pro. It used to be Casting Call Pro. And then they posted this job for Business Development Canada. I was like, well, I already talk about you, so I might as well get paid for it, as an actor does, looking for opportunities to get paid.
Oh.
Yeah, so I took that side hustle, right, and said, this is a great opportunity. And really, I do believe in what it is. The thing I like about the company is that it is so transparent, and it's good for actors such as myself and such as yourself who are looking to get work. And I don't, I just want to have a direct contact, like, give me the job. Here's what it is. I know exactly what I'm getting into. If it's a $200 job, I know that going into it, so great. If it's a $400 job, awesome. I know that. I know what the expectations are right away, so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. So, yeah. So then they hired me, and I've been with them ever since. And lucky. I'm very fortunate. I feel very fortunate. And I can share also that there's some new news. If everybody doesn't know this, Mandy has been acquired by Backstage out of the U.S. So Backstage.com, I want to say. Everybody should know that. It's a trade publication for our industry. So, yeah, Backstage is pretty big, and that's exciting times for us.
That is exciting. See, I knew that, and then my feigned surprise was really not convincing. But I love that too, right? It's just Mandy's being acknowledged. It's very important. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all about expansion and how far can Mandy go? I don't know.
Oh. But it's really done, like, everything is by design. Like, the whole point of the company is to help actors get work and help crew get jobs. Like, that's really it. There's no hidden agenda. It's like, I talk to employers and I talk to production companies and casting directors, and I'm like, here's a whole bunch of candidates. I have the largest database of talent in the country by far, and I certainly post the most jobs in the country by far. I mean, it's just, it's predominantly non-union, as you know,
Right.
and it's predominantly commercials, I would say, a lot more commercials than anything else. But those are the things that pay the bills for us actors, right? You got to do all those little commercials to get to the
Well,
next thing, and it's just padding your resume and getting more experience in front of the camera and then you're going to network with more people, and they're going to be like, hey, I'm also doing a short film. Like, that to me is the world we live in. It's commercials. You do commercials not because you want to be a conduit to sell something to somebody. You're doing commercials because you want to network with people. That director is probably doing a commercial because that's not his passion. He's doing commercials to pay the bills to fund his project. That's a feature film or a short film or whatever. So yeah, it's important to do all of those types of things. I made a choice when I was full-time acting that I didn't want to do commercials anymore, but that for me as an actor was I made a decision I would rather do character roles. But I had already positioned myself in a way that I didn't need to do the commercials as much anymore, if that makes sense. Like, not financially. Financially, I could definitely use the money all the time. But I made a big enough network, and I knew enough people that I could continue to do short films and features and stuff. So, yeah, that was just my choice. And I think every actor has to they'll come to a point where you have to sort of choose. And I think that most actors don't choose to be commercial actors, although the money is great. I think actors want to be actors because they want to be actors. They want to develop characters and become
you say
somebody
that
other than themselves.
Some of these commercials, there's a storyline. I'm getting involved. There's emotions. They don't make commercials the way they used to.
No, for sure. And the smartest thing you can do with an ad campaign anymore is to make it a storyline, right? And pull an audience in, because commercials, we're inundated with commercials all the time. So what's going to stick, And I think the story is always, and writers will appreciate that. Story is everything for everything. Commercial, television, film, whatever. It's all story.
Definitely. But I love what you were saying with Mandy too, that it is for non-union actors mainly, if not not only.
Predominantly. I'd like
predominant. That's the word.
Predominantly.
Yeah. Fancy word. We're going to use that. But what's so interesting is because when I'm talking to other actors that are just trying to get started, and it's where can I find that work? I don't have an agent yet. What do I do? It's just nice to have a platform where people can find stuff. They can be in the driver's seat, apply for things they want to apply for, and make those connections should they choose to. But it's also, absolutely. I know we had a talk, because I'm like, hey, Daryl, here's my thoughts on why I stopped using Mandy. And there was a time when Mandy was different. And I think after discussing Mandy with you, it sounds like it's cleaned up quite a bit, and the jobs are a lot safer, which is great. Yes. Because you never know, right? It's all online. You don't know. You never meet the people till you get to set. And that's a huge safety concern, especially now during COVID. So I was just, when I spoke to you and the vetting that you do for the companies, I thought, okay, let's start looking at Mandy again.
Yeah, and I'm absolutely transparent about that. We were not perfect back in the day. There was issues. And I can say of myself as an actor, there were some questionable jobs being posted. And it was it was more like a Craigslist style of site, and yeah, there were some issues, and my challenge now is to try to show people that it's not like that anymore. It used to be that. I own that for sure. It wasn't me. I wasn't part of the company at that point, and this company wasn't part of that company at that point. But it's just we've transitioned. Casting Call Pro was a very legitimate above board company. Acquiring Mandy was a really smart decision. The only real challenge is trying to reshape the brand, right? And get people to understand that it is safe. And I think it's interesting in this day and age with the internet. I mean, most sets in the non-union world are very safe, I think. The internet is a powerful tool. And so, you can call people out on stuff. And honestly, my job is to really look after the actors and the talent and the crew as well, right? Like, I want to make sure everybody's getting exactly what they're told they're going to get. And I'm always trying to get more for them. So I know what it is to be a struggling actor. I know the struggle. I need money, always. So yeah, I try really hard to work with the production companies, casting directors. I mean, they only have a budget that they have, and they can only do what they can. But I do try to push a little bit. It's like, here's a job that I think should pay a little bit more than what you're saying. But it's really up to the candidates.
And payment for a commercial on Mandy. What is this? So, I mean, it's appreciated, right? Because the majority of people get paid, and actors, they're paying you with experience, is what they used to say. So to receive some
experience kind of doesn't pay rent.
Thank you. So some kind of compensation is always appreciated, right? So I appreciate you pushing for the actors.